I continue going to the animal rescue. I had a men's conference that week, and a conference and a men's challenge. I was actually doing a 90-day workout challenge. I was getting my body in shape, and I was crossing over to it was purpose and resilience workout challenge. I was crossing over to my men's challenge and conference. So I'm doing all of that, and we kept it moving. Kept it moving. Didn't stop. And people would see my videos and they're like, man, you're doing this, your dad. And yeah. Because I knew that I was loved. I didn't need to have people love me. I still needed to love other people. I needed to show them how to forgive other people, how to forgive the people in the hospital when they don't take care of your father, how to forgive them when he dies of COVID instead of a heart attack or all the cancers that he's been through, how to live in a higher environment, how to keep my father living instead of dying, telling his story like I'm telling it now. My father lives online in the internet. He lives throughout all over the world. I still get messages sometimes, I guess if they view my reels or something on Instagram, where they'll say, my condolences. And it's been about 3 months now. And I'm so grateful for my father, the time. And as a caregiver, I will tell you this: you're earning the right to give your story to people that didn't do the work. Because that's what happens when they die. They call you. Tell me everything that happened from minute 1 to 18 years later, because I want to know everything that we went through. And then you got to do that with everybody. Like, you didn't earn that story. I learned that. They didn't earn that story. I would give them a story so I didn't have to go down my life and relive all the trauma that I had to deal with. That I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to think about Pops in that way. Here's his story. He passed away, got COVID in the hospital, went through a lot of things. He's done. He's gone. He's loving it. And I made sure he lives. My father doesn't die. I'm not going down his death trail for anybody else. I did that. I earned that. I get to go back and look like, man, remember we dealt with that, Pops, and I get to tell that story. I learned how to be content. I learned how to be so content in the situation, and that is a tough thing to tell a caregiver. I know you guys are looking at me, all the caregivers out there, like, Kauri, go blow some cheese. I get it. But I learned how to be content in the situation of taking care of my father. And I started making time for myself. So when I wrapped the schedule around my father and understood and really honored the fact that my father will pass, just not yet. And that I didn't own the time of his passing because that was stressing me out. I didn't own the time where I wouldn't be fully engaged in Pops and what he would do. I had to become a leader of that care. I had to become a leader of the time I was giving Pops. I had to become his father. There's a phrase, it's an old phrase that says the father becomes the son and the son becomes the father. It is so true. And that's what I had to do with Pops. And telling my story to everybody, telling my story to you guys, trying to, helping you understand that there's a level of stress that you can't even explain to other people when you're a caregiver. They will not understand their selfish nature and their cruelty of selfish nature can aggravate you or tickle your ego to a point of anger. And I like to tell you, like, please be careful. Please be careful and fall into a line of contentment. Figure out how to give your just some of that time somewhere else where your mind is helping somebody else in a totally different way. Me, I did it with animals and dogs. I mean, you could do it with your neighbor. Go ask them to mow their grass. I mean, I know that might have been a stretch for some people, but hey, go do something to help somebody else too. And understand your talents and your abilities as a caregiver. You were selected to be a caregiver. You were selected because of your heart. It's not a lot of people. It's not a lot of people out here that actually can give care without giving their cruelty associated with it. So everybody that's caring for a family member that's doing that work, man, I applaud you. I applaud you so much. And I hope pieces in this video over this week, I hope it motivates you. And reach out to other caregivers in your lane, in your arena, where my arena was caregiving of a parent. So some people, like, they're caregivers of hospital. I did that too, but my actual issue was giving care to my parent. So I had friends that were giving care to their parents, and we talked, we had conversations, and we strengthened each other. We sharpened each other's iron to help each other deal with the fight, to deal with, you know, the things that are going on in your head that other people might look at as malicious, where this is just how life is. Yes, I had to wake up. Well, in the morning, I would look in at my pops and look at him. Is he breathing today? That happened. But a lot of people don't think about that. You don't think about waking up and seeing if your kids are breathing today. You know, that's not a worry. But it sounds kind of morbid, doesn't it? I had to look in the room. I just look in the room every day to see if they're breathing. That's what we have to do. That's what I had to do. It wasn't a fun road. However, like I said, I have transitioned over, and on this side of the fence, there's residual caregiver stress, where I fall in things like I feel like I should be doing this, pops up, and I don't, you know. Or people ask me, can you come over here? Can you come to California? Like, no, I can now. I can. And then I stress sometimes, like, did he die too early, or could I have done more? Was it my fault? It wasn't. It was just Pop's time. And I'm so grateful for the time that he gave to me. I'm so grateful for the stories that we have in my mind to tell when I'm lonely without him. When I actually need to talk to him, I can talk to him. He sits right where he always sat. And I'm content with that. I'm pleased. So for all you caregivers, keep a forgiving heart. Keep a loving mindset. And become content in your situation. But have fun helping other people. It makes it go so much better. Much life. Thank you for listening to me this week.